family, welcome to Inside Hilda's Life. Today we are in my kitchen. I want to show you a very special dish. Today, guess what we'll be making? We'll be making pizza. Yes, pizza. Pizza with so the Deutsch call it Tet for Z, so it's pizza. We will be making pizza, and I've got this meal here, my universal meal. This is farina. You can use the one it's a flour, so you can use the one you use for both roads. Yeah. Then I've got my yeast here, one yeast. There's also this one, the dry one. You can use any one you like, so I choose to use the fresh yeast. We've got salt. We'll be adding 1 teaspoon of salt, sugar 1 teaspoon, and then we've got our olive oil here. So let's start. So starting, I will add, this is 1 kilogram of meal, 1 kilogram. Maybe I'll just leave a bit for rolling it out. Then we have our warm water here. This is like 600 milliliter of warm water. So I'm adding 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of my sugar. And then we need a bit oil just to make it fluffy, and the olive oil for the Italian taste. So you can add the yeast first, even before adding everything else. So I'm breaking it in now. I'm supposed to maybe add the yeast before adding the oil, but it will still turn out good. So then what I'm doing now is mixing it all together. So let me see. Yeah. Then we are just going to let it dissolve. That's quite all right. So I'm leaving it here. I have my flour here. So let me see. After letting it dissolve, we'll just pour it in here and mix it together. So I added a bit. I'll be mixing it, and if I notice I need more, then I'll add more water. So you can mix this one, this as well with your hands, the way you wish. Mix it a bit, then we will actually be kneading it. So I ended up using the whole of my water, and it's just perfect. So I'm going to continue to mix it a bit before I transfer it to the kneading machine. But as I said, you can knead this throughout with your hand. You don't need the machine if you don't have. But as I have it, I'll just make use of it. So I'm transferring it here. And then starting to knead it. I'll knead this about 5 minutes, but if you are kneading it with your hand, you can knead it 10 to 15 minutes to make it very smooth. So now, whilst it's kneading, I'll just go ahead to prepare maybe the things I will use for layering the pizza. Thank you. We'll be back. So now we've kneaded our pizza. We've kneaded it, and this is how the dough looks like, very fluffy, which is very good. So what we are going to do is we are going to cover this and let it rise. So we will let it stay covered for about 40 minutes to 1 hour at least, and this thing can stay up to 24 hours, the dough, without any problem. So you can even do this in the night before you go to sleep, or in the morning, and then in the afternoon if you want to eat your pizza, it will be ready for you. So I'm covering it and I will let it sit. Let's say today we want it early, so maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, then it will be okay. I'll let it sit. So whilst I'm letting this sit, I've prepared some things here. So basically, you can use anything of your choice, whatever you love, whatever you like to lay on your pita. So today I have here, because my family, we have 2 or 3 types of pitas we like. So I have the ones that like tonfish with maize, and then I myself love to have it all mixed. I love to have some onions on it, some ham, then this is pepperoni, so it's like pepper, hot pepper. It's extra for pita, but it's not by force. If you don't have this, you can leave it out. So I've got the other group that likes to have pineapple with the ham together. So the pineapple with the ham is called pita Hawaii, and then with the ham, pita prosciutto. We have pita mozzarella, whereby you only put tomatoes and cheese on it. Yeah, so anything you love, however you love to have your pita, you can have it. So basically, if the dough is finished, what you need to do is to roll it out, and then you will need the tomatoes on the base. So how I used to prepare my tomato sauce for my pita is basically using, this is canned tomatoes, so you can just get your canned tomatoes, and then what I do is I add a bit of salt to give it a good taste. Then I add my oil. This is olive oil again. It just gives it that Italian taste. And then we have, this is oregano, so it's also just for the good taste, oregano. So if you don't have it, it's, let's say with having it inside will just give it a great taste. So you can just ask around just to have it. I know if you're in Africa, maybe it's not so easy to get oregano, or maybe the cheese, because I have cheese here that we'll just use for the last layer. But this is cheese and it's grinded, so you can find something like this in ShopRite, Melcom, or even Walmart here. So this is how it looks. It's cheese, but it's sliced into some. You can even call it. You see here it's written pita cheese, pita queso. So it's pita cheese. And I have my ham here. So I've already cut some for myself. Yeah, so you see the tomatoes. I have the tomatoes. I added a bit salt, oil, and the oregano, and then I'll blend it. Yeah, but not so smooth. So I pour it, and then I think I'll add a bit more oil. So actually the tomato base is also finished, it's ready. So I'm going to pause a bit now, wait for the dough to rise, and then we can start rolling. We'll roll and roll, we'll roll the pizza. So let me just use this second to thank you very much for following us in our kitchen inside Hilda's Life. We love you. Thank you for being with us. Please subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and also the notification button. And don't forget also to like this video, because I'll be bringing you more recipes. I'll be showing you more insights on in Austria, where so I got part of the dough, just kneading it in my hands now. I put a bit of flour here so that in case it gets sticky, I can deal with it easily. So So I'm going to cut it. Into 4 pieces. So, and then you guys, I'm not perfect in rolling it because I'm not Italian. I think the best way, you know, they roll it and throw it around. I think let's leave it for the Italian. So what I do is roll it out like this. It's actually easier to roll it without the baking paper, but it's okay. So then oh yeah, so I think I'll do it without, because I just cleaned the surface and it's clean. So instead of the paper disturbing me, I'll just do it like this. So I don't want it too thin, so this is actually okay. Maybe pull it a bit and then lay it on my tray. So meanwhile, I on the oven on 150 degrees Celsius, and then the first thing that comes on our pizza is the tomato paste, or our blended tomato. So I wonder whose pizza is the first one. So we'll add a bit of stonefish, add our maize. So this is also this canned maize, the sweet maize. This is my favorite. I used to add a bit of onions, and so it looks like this first pizza is going to be for me and myself. And the last thing that goes on it is our cheese. So you can put as much as you like. This is enough for me, and I really like my pizza to be rich. So at this moment I will put it in the oven and put it on 180 and bake it for 10 to 14 minutes. So I will see you again if I'm rolling the next one. Hi YouTube family, we are back again, and yeah, I told you could leave this dough for 24 hours. So basically yesterday we didn't finish all, it was too much for us, so I just left it, and I want you to see how it looks today. So today I will be using also vegetables, just to show you how the vegetable pizza is done, the vegetarian pizza. So I got here my zucchini, then bell pepper, and fresh spring onions here. So I'm going to show you. So this is what I use. Yeah, I'm going to show you. So you can now see the dough is still okay, but a bit soft dough. So what we'll do is we'll be using we'll be adding flour just to make it more manageable again. As we add gets tighter, it gets stronger, it's no more so soft, and then we can roll it if we see that it's enough.
Sieht man mich? Sieht man mich? Sieht man mich?
So this is another pizza that I made with the leftover. So it was basically everything I used for the vegetarian. Then I added stonefish and also onions. And now I will add my cheese.